On December 29, 2022, a strange event rippled through the cryptocurrency community. Several exchanges, Huobi, XT.com, suddenly listed a token named Pi. The price surged dramatically, reaching highs of over $300 on some platforms within days. For the millions of pioneers, the users mining Pi coin on their phones, it seemed like the moment they had been waiting for. Yet, this was not a celebration. The Pi core team, the official developers of the Pi network, quickly issued a statement. They clarified that Pi was not yet on any exchange. The tokens being traded were not real Pi coins from the main network. They were IOUs, IOU promises for future tokens, with no official backing. The ensuing chaos saw prices plummet, leaving many confused and some with significant losses. The event raised a critical question. Why did these exchanges back off, and what does this mean for Pi's future? This sudden, unofficial market debut and collapse had multiple causes: community anticipation, exchange opportunism, and a fundamental misunderstanding of the project's status. The tokens listed were speculative instruments. When the Pi core team confirmed this, it pulled the rug out from under the frenzy. The incident was a harsh lesson. Listing pre-mainnet assets erodes trust. The dream of instant wealth evaporated, replaced by a reality check about the long road ahead. At its heart, PiCoin was born from a simple yet ambitious idea: to make cryptocurrency mining accessible to everyone. Launched on March 14, 2019, by a team of Stanford graduates, the Pi network proposed a new model. Traditional cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin require energy-intensive hardware to mine and validate transactions. This proof of work creates a high barrier to entry. Pi aimed to dismantle that barrier with a mobile-first approach. Tap once a day to earn. It didn't drain battery or data because it wasn't technical mining. It was distribution. It uses the Stellar Consensus Protocol and security circles, where users vouch for others to curb fake accounts and hoarding. Pi built users before tech, amassing tens of millions. Its journey: distribution and community, then testnet for valueless test Pi, then the current enclosed mainnet. The blockchain is live but protected by a firewall that blocks external connectivity. So Pi can't connect to other chains or list on exchanges. Yet. KYC'd pioneers can migrate to mainnet and transfer Pi peer-to-peer or buy goods via Pi browser apps inside the closed ecosystem. The ultimate goal is the open mainnet. Remove the firewall, enable full external connectivity, and operate as a decentralized cryptocurrency. Then Pi can be listed on exchanges, integrate with financial systems, and be used freely across the global internet. Launch depends on three conditions: mass KYC, mainnet balance migration, and a mature ecosystem with real utility and applications. This methodical approach aims for stability and value, but its slow pace frustrated many and helped trigger the speculative IOU crash. To understand Pi's IOU rise and fall, grasp how exchanges operate: digital marketplaces to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrencies. Liquidity is key. Major listings: Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, signal legitimacy and bring deep liquidity. But not all exchanges follow rigorous standards. Some exchanges list tokens without consent by creating an IOU market. An IOU is not the real cryptocurrency. It's a promise to deliver the real token later. This creates prices for non-tradable assets, untethered speculation, and immense confusion, especially for new investors. This happened with Pi. Exchanges like Huobi listed a PI token. Traders assumed it was real. A buying frenzy followed. The Pi core team denied involvement. The illusion shattered. The IOU collapsed. Traders realized they held a promise with no official backing. Exchanges sometimes list early to capture sign-ups and fees. But if a project disavows the listing or delays launch, the exchange is left holding the bag, often delisting, suspending, or settling in USDT. That's why the Pi core team warns: be wary of any exchange claiming to trade Pi. Official stance: no real Pi can be traded until Open Mainnet removes the firewall. Bottom line: exchanges retreated from a risky derivative, not from real Pi, because real Pi wasn't on the open market. The saga began the final week of 2022, low volume, high volatility. On December 29th, XTCOM moved first, Huobi, now HTX, followed. An explicitly labeled IOU PI USDT skyrocketed from a few dollars to over 60 in a day. Hype was electric. News outlets and influencers amplified it. On December 30th, Huobi showed a peak near $345. Same day, the PiCore team stated, "Pi is an enclosed mainnet and not approved for exchange listings." These tokens were not real Pi. A bizarre schism emerged. Exchanges traded IOUs, data aggregators broadcast prices, the creators disavowed it and urged pioneers not to engage. Exchanges added disclaimers. Deposits and withdrawals were closed. Volatility exploded. As the message spread, price fell, but a strange market persisted. Traders bet exchanges would honor listings, or that Pi would accelerate Open Mainnet. Smaller exchanges jumped in with their own Pi IOUs, but without backing, the foundation was sand, pure speculation. Into early 2023, prices trended down. With no Open Mainnet date, IOU markets became illiquid, ghost markets with near zero volume. Traders who bought tops held a worthless derivative. Pi's reputation took a hit, linking its name with chaos and confusion. In unregulated frontiers of crypto, hype can create entire markets from thin air, and they can vanish just as quickly, causing real harm. Lesson logged. Markets need real assets and access, not phantoms. The collapse was not random. Primary cause: confusion over identity. Traded tokens were not transferable Pi on Mainnet. They were exchange-made IOUs. When the core team disavowed listings, the perceived link between IOU price and underlying value broke. Collapse became inevitable. Critical factor: lack of liquidity and backing. Exchanges had no real Pi reserves. Withdrawals were impossible. Markets became closed loops. Thin liquidity meant a few trades caused wild swings. Hype pumped. Absence of buyers later accelerated the drop. Pre-mainnet utility was enclosed. P2P transfers, and a handful of apps. Without real-world utility, the IOU price was pure future speculation. Social media amplified both surge and crash. Hype across Twitter, Telegram, YouTube drove FOMO. Then fear after the official statement triggered domino selling. From opportunistic listings to quiet retreats, exchanges signaled distrust, eroding confidence, and burying the IOU. Speculation builds fast. Substance sustains value. For Pi and its millions, Open Mainnet is the crucial milestone, moving from a closed experiment to a public blockchain. Think, a fully built city surrounded by a wall. Inside, pioneers move, trade, and use local Pi apps. But gates are shut. Roads, bridges, and ports are blocked. Open Mainnet throws the gates open, technically removing the firewall, isolating Pi from the wider internet. Then Pi can interact with other blockchains, exchanges, wallets, and merchant gateways, transforming from internal credit to a globally tradable asset. Its value becomes subject to global supply and demand, not a restricted enclave. No fixed date, only conditions. 1. Complete technical work with testing and audits. 2. Achieve mass KYC and migrate balances. 3. Mature utility ecosystem where people can spend Pi. By waiting for these conditions, Pi aims to avoid launching into a pump and dump with no real use, favoring stability and long-term value. Open Mainnet is not a race against time. It's the measured opening of a durable economy. After the IOU episode, the path forward is trust, through radical transparency. Publish comprehensive third-party security audits. Independent reports validate safety, make them public, even with issues fixed. Deliver granular tokenomics, total and circulating supply at launch, distribution schedule, minting, and any burns. Provide a live supply and progress dashboard. Engage reputable exchanges early with roadmap, technical docs, and legal opinions. Coordinate official listings to ensure deep liquidity.
Move beyond occasional announcements. Study updates, tutorials, AMAs, simple explainers on remaining steps, KYC, wallet setup, and scam avoidance.
Trust is earned through open, honest, reliable communication that respects the community's time and faith. Pioneers rely only on official channels, the main Pi app, mindpi.com, and verified social accounts. Disregard rumors and insider tips. Secure your wallet and passphrase now. The core team will never ask for it. Any request is a scam. Write it down and store offline, never in screenshots, cloud drives, or email. If you lose your passphrase, access is lost forever. No recovery. Treat it like the deed to your house. Avoid panic and FOMO. The IOU crash showed extreme volatility. Expect rumors and swings. Don't use unverified third-party services. Pi's strategy is long-term. Value comes from utility and adoption, not hype. Patience is essential. Learn and prepare for open mainnet. Understand migration steps, use Pi browser, explore early ecosystem apps, and consume in-app education. Ask questions in official forums. An informed user is a secure user. Stay calm, secure assets, verify info, educate yourself. You'll navigate the waiting period and be ready for the next chapter. The IOU roller coaster was a lesson in trust, transparency, and utility. Price without access and use is just a number, at the mercy of hype. Exchanges didn't back off the real Pi because it was never listed. They retreated from a speculative derivative after responsible disavowal. Sustainable value requires technology, trust, and purpose. Publish audits, definitive tokenomics, and grow real applications to earn market confidence and ensure a stable launch. The real test isn't day one price, it's stability and utility over months and years, paying for goods, accessing services, empowering builders. If the team leads with transparency and the community with patience, Pi can move from controversial promise to a functional pillar of the decentralized economy.